Okay, guys. So this topic we have to discuss it before Jiku come out in a few hours. The reason I want to talk about this now is because we need to keep an eye on it, see if it happens again. Like I've said a gazillion times, the reason why we Cookers believe that Jimin and JK are a couple is because they have consistency, is because they have patterns, just like couples do. And this here is one of the biggest patterns of Jungkook ever. And it happened during chapter 2. And we were able to see it and witness it and have a lot of fun with it actually. And we have to talk about it now because trash cookers and aunties, with all their talk about how Jiku can be a couple because they didn't see each other in all of Tata 2, all that yada yada, all that noise that don't make sense. But what they fail to understand is the fact that JK was only available to hang out with V because Jimin was busy. Well, you think I'm talking out of my ass? I got receipts. I got receipts to back it up. As we know, Face era was quite short, may have been the shortest from all the members. It lasted between January to March, barely. It was quite a short time, and during that time, Jimin was extremely busy, and it was taking a toll on JK, and we could see it. And people can tell us that we are delusional, but the math was mathing. When Jimin was busy, JK had so much time. He was on live all the time, and he came on live and he was not okay. That dude was not okay. He was like sad. He was drinking, falling asleep. He was just he was not in a good place mentally. And the fact of the matter is, as soon as Jimin was done with Face, JK disappeared, nowhere to be seen. And when he popped back out again, bro, the guy looks like, oh my god, he was glowing. He looked like a completely different person. But listen, I am getting ahead of myself. Let's start from the beginning. So this image behind me from December 14th, 2022, was when Cook went skating. And while this was December 14th, this again was from December 16th, where JK and V and a member of the Booger Squad again went back to the resort. We all remember this time with the take cookers analyzing the shoes and all that stuff. At the time, we didn't believe them, but it later came out to be true, and good for them. But point is, during this time in 2022, Jimin was very busy working on Vibe, working on Face, and working on his Dior ambassadorship. The timeline aligns because when we saw Jin and Listing, Jimin was already turning blonde, and when he appeared in Vibe, he was already blonde. So that's how we know this. Jimin was very busy during this time in December. The same applies to a month before that in November when JK joined V and the Woga Squad and they went bowling. Jimin was still quite busy with Vibe, Dior, and Face. Then we have the 3rd of March, where Taekook and V's friend, they went to see a musical. Here, Jimin was right at the height of his busy schedule because Face was just about to drop. So yeah, Jimin was busy and Jikook, honestly, they were not seeing each other, and if they were, it wasn't enough, at least not for JK. Like going from seeing this person, spending time with him every day or almost every single day, to less than like once a week or like less than, like I can see that taking a toll on somebody, especially set like Jion. And after Taekook and V's friend went for the musical, JK came live, which is something he did a lot. After hanging out with V and his friends, JK would then come live after. This live, of course, is when he got like super drunk and he fell asleep on live with the candle burning. If you guys remember that, because we remember, we're like, oh my god, the candle's still on. Anyway, yeah, it all became too much on March 14th, White Day. This is when JK broke down on live. And it is of my personal theory and many Jungkook's theory that Satellite Dion just couldn't take it anymore. They've been spending every White Day together, and the first White Day before they have to enlist and be separated for almost 2 years, and Jimin was not there. He was in the US for Jimmy Fallon. And at this time, they didn't know that they were going to enlist together. They probably hadn't even gotten the idea to enlist together. So all JK knew was that this is the last chance he has to spend with Jimmy before they be separated, and his man has been so busy, and even on this big couple white holiday that they always spend together, Jimmy is nowhere to be found. So my man's broke down. He broke down, he cried like he was a mess. And aunties, OT7, trash cookers, they can try to come up with many reasons as to why JK could have been crying this day, but they don't. They have no idea. They say that they don't know why JK was sad, but we do. We do, because the math was mathing. Satellite Jion was missing his Jimin, his safe space. So yeah, Jimin was in the US, and so JK came live on Wednesday. We're gonna go back a month before February, which is when the Hawaii trip happened. The Taekook Hawaii trip happened in February. We don't need to confirm this because Taekook has always said that it was Valentine's Day, even though they have no way of knowing that it wasn't. It wasn't. But it happened in February, and February was Face. We were in the middle of Face. Jimin was very, very busy. So V says, JK, you wanna come skydiving? JK is like, yeah, fuck yeah. If you see me looking aside, it's because I got notes. I got notes because I take this ish very seriously, okay? So yes, during the Hawaii trip, we were right in the middle of the Face era. April 8th, JK told us that he went to the group chat and he said he was lonely. V-Hope came to visit him. When they were about to leave, that's the 2-minute live, the infamous 2-minute live that V did at JK's house before V-Hope left. And when he did that, JK felt the need to come live and tell us that that live was not his idea. That's the famous live where JK came to fold the undies. That's when he came and told us, oh, he didn't know V was going to do that. It wasn't his idea, yada, yada, yada. We cookers have a theory that that red underwear at the top there is not JK's, that it belongs to Jimin because it's much, much smaller. Anyway, that was April 8th when JK was busy, and Jimin was right in the middle of Muse. He was now working on Muse. On April 24th, that's when Taekook went to the premiere. During this time, Jimin was working on Muse still, and then after this premiere, the next day, Jimin flew to the US to work on Angel Part 1 and also his Tiffany and Co stuff. And as soon as Jimin left for the US, JK came live. The pattern continues to pattern. Also, just like how JK went live after bowling with the Wogo Squad, he also went live immediately after the premiere. And the funny thing was, he never talked about he never met he when he was talking to us about going to the premiere, he talked like he went by himself. He didn't mention anybody. He just talked about the movie the entire time, just like he did after the musical. And this live is where he was getting irritated by the comments to the point where he turned them off. And there was a lot of Taekook comments. It was all about, because they had been at the premiere, so of course Taekookers were like on a high. So when JK went live, the comment section was overridden with the Taekook comments to the point where JK just had enough. He told them off. He was like, can't you just watch without commenting? He was getting irritated to the point where he turned off his comments. Poor guy, he was not in the mood, y'all. He wasn't feeling it. So after all this, sad JK, who's just live all the time because he wants to talk to Ami so that we can keep him company, and he's just drinking and falling asleep and just not in a good place in general. After we got used to this JK to the point where Jungkook was just so worried about him, and aunties were calling him a drunk and all that stuff, and it was a mess. Like we all know. I'm just recapping for you guys, but you already know. So after all this, right? When Jimin finally had a rest after Face, yeah, that's when we finally saw. First of all, JK disappeared for a while. They both went very quiet. JK stopped coming live. They both disappeared and they were very quiet. And we were so used to seeing JK all the time. We were like, JK, we miss you. Where are you? What's going on? We were waiting for the next live because at this point, we were just waiting because he kept doing lives, but for some reason, coincidentally, as soon as Jimin was done with Face, JK was nowhere to be seen until May 10th, 2023 for the Calvin Klein event. Jenny was also there, and then people started shipping JK with Jenny. Like, this man is dating the entire K-pop industry. Okay, whatever. So after that low JK that we have come to be used to, suddenly this JK appeared. After Jimin had finally taken a break, JK goes into hibernation, and when he comes out, he's looking like this. Look at him. Look at this guy. Yeah? He came ready to work it. Look at him. Smiling, rejuvenated, revived. Hey, we were shooketh. We were shooketh. Look at that man. And that ponytail. How dare he? After all that he put us through, he comes out looking like a man who got oh, Jimin, you're gonna have to forgive me, but your man was looking like a snack. He was looking like a good job, Jimin. Good job. Whatever you did to JK during that time, good job. Cause this, woo! Woo! And you wanna tell me the sad JK, the drinking JK, the crying JK, the falling asleep on live, you wanna tell me that had nothing to do with Jimin being busy? Then explain to me why, as soon as Jimin is done being busy, JK gets lost, nowhere to be seen, and when he comes out again, he's looking like this? No, bro, he was looking like, oh my God, look at him, look how yummy this man is, look at him, huh? Oh my God, he came out, he was looking so hot, right? He was glowing, he looked amazing. That's when we saw the hair, the ponytail, oh my God, he was looking so good. The man was rejuvenated, the man was alive again. Huh? All because Jimin was free and available to see JK as much as JK wanted. JK could get that D or that ass. JK was hitting it again in the regular. And he had gone back to himself. Yeah. Bro. Satellite JK, Satellite Jion needs his Jimin. He needs his Jimin. Which is why he's the one, it was his idea probably to enlist together because his number comes first, which suggests that he was the one who signed them up, right? He couldn't be separated for those. It makes sense. If you have studied Satellite Jion and you know him very, very well, it made sense for Jungkook to enlist together. This man couldn't be without Jimin for 3 months. You think he could have done 18 months? 1.5 years? He would not. He would not have been able to do it, my guy. He would not have been able to do it. But listen, this thing is not one-sided, okay? It goes both ways. Because when JK flies out on June 14th, Mimi comes live on June 15th. At this point, they were so predictable, y'all. So predictable. Like I was saying, like this Jungkook pattern was just hilarious. We enjoyed watching it and predicting it and watching it come true. When Jimin flied out, JK would come live. And then JK flies out, there is Jimin. Like that was, and then JK is like, oh, I missed you, Ami, did you? Did you miss us, JK? Did you miss us? Or has Djibouti left the country? And now you're like, oh, Ami, they exist. Let me go live. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. If Jimin was my man, I would disappear too. This Jungkook was kind enough to give us compilation of this whole thing. Like, look at that. It was not like once is a coincidence, twice is what was it? Once is a coincidence, twice is chance, that time is a pattern. Yeah. And it was not 3 times, it was way more than that. Way more than that, you guys. Way more than that. Way more than that. Yep. There you have it, guys. No other JK ship can prove this. No other JK shipper can prove this. That's why I usually say, as much as we argue with aunties and fight with trash cookers, at the end of the day, don't let them affect you too much, because our evidence is overwhelming. They can't take away what has happened and what continues to happen. The truth is the truth is the truth. And while we fight and defend our Jimin, do not let them get inside your head or whatever, because what reason is there? They have nothing, we have everything. So at the end of the day, Jungkook remain winning. Jungkook never lose. So yeah, I wanted to do this little tiny analysis that many of us were already aware of, but I just wanted to remind you guys of it so that when they come back out, we will keep an eye out for it and see if it happens again. Because if there is anything, if there is one thing Jungkook are, is predictable. They are very predictable, which is why when we say something is gonna happen, it always happens, because we have known them for years, we have studied them, we know how they move. Predictable. We love that for us and for them, of course. We we support them fast. But yeah, thank you for stopping by.